because the coup happened, it was not an uprising, because they're not allowing Sheikh Hasina to go back. In a strongly worded statement, Dhaka accused Hasina of launching what is called venomous vitriol against Bangladesh and its people during the interaction. The Bangladesh government said that it is outrage that Hasina was allowed. Now, my point is very, very simple. Bangladesh government has shown no sympathy, either to the minorities or to the process or to the sensitivity of its neighbors. And this is the entire issue which I decoded with Ambassador Veena Sikri, who has served as India's High Commissioner to Dhaka. Sheikh Hasina held a press conference virtually in New Delhi on Wednesday. The response that came out of Dhaka was, if I may use the word harsh, very, very strong. And in a way, it had very anti-India tones. To decode it, I'm joined by Ambassador Veena Sikri, who had served as India's High Commissioner in Bangladesh. Madam, you must have also gone through the language of the release that came out. And it in a way says that by allowing Sheikh Hasina to address media, this is detrimental to India-Bangladesh relationship. Why would Dhaka react like this, madam?
Well, good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me on your show. I agree with you that yesterday, former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's press conference has had an electrifying impact, especially when she started answering questions from the media representatives. And I was there watching the whole thing, and there were very senior media representatives there from all the Indian leading media, from the global media, Wall Street Journal and others. So it has had an electrifying impact. But you're right that the response of the Bangladesh government through the press note they've issued is nothing but a harangue. First of all, if they want to address India through such a press note, then they should issue a diplomatic note. They should not be issuing a press note like this. They should be issuing a diplomatic note and raising it at the diplomatic level. This kind of a press note is not even addressed directly to India. It is just a media note. They are trying to justify themselves before the media and put all the blame on India. First of all, this press note is a bundle of contradictions. You know, they're saying that we have asked India for extradition of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. They're not doing it. But then Sheikh Hasina is herself saying she wants to go back. So isn't that a contradiction? That if she wants to come back, then fine, receive her back. And, she's appealed that she wants to have a appeal done to her very harsh judgment of death sentence. So you react to that. Why are you blaming India that Sheikh Hasina wants to go back? That's her decision.
Ambassador, this statement is also very, very telling because, it assumes certain things. It says that the Bangladesh will never go back to the dark days of fascism and that Bangladesh will never be a client state, convicted mass murderers, Hasina and a mafia enterprise will never have a place in the polity of Bangladesh. They have already decided that Sheikh Hasina will not be allowed.
Well, yes, this is the second set of contradictions I want to say, because first of all, what they call July uprising, and they're pretending that it's a student uprising, a spontaneous student uprising. The world knows today that it is not. It was not a students' uprising. And some students may have joined in the demand that, there should not be a quota for the children and grandchildren of freedom fighters. But Sheikh Hasina had already abolished the quota in 2018. And when in 2024, the High Court of Bangladesh brought the quota back, she appealed to the Supreme Court. And many students, the moment the Supreme Court gave its verdict, they withdrew from the agitation. They saying, fine, we have received the verdict. We will now talk to the government directly. So to say that it was a spontaneous student uprising is another contradiction. We know it was not. Mohammed Yunus himself said in New York in September 24, it was a meticulously designed operation. And he introduced the mastermind, who was his own private secretary, a person called Mahfouz Alam, who is said to be from Hizb ut-Tahrir. So I think we have to recognize that this meticulous design was done through the ultra-right-wing, conservative, Islamist, radicalized organizations of Bangladesh. And Hizb ut-Tahrir is one of them, banned by Sheikh Hasina during her time, but now they are absolutely running everywhere. So I think the very notion of calling it a July uprising aimed against fascism or whatever is wrong.
So what is what is the Indian choice? I mean to say, you as a diplomat would understand better than anyone that we will need to engage with everyone.
Yes.
But Sheikh Hasina has been India's friend, and she is in India now. How do we balance this out?
I think, and I've said so very clearly, and I must say that former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina used this word also in her speech yesterday. She used the word reconciliation. She is ready for reconciliation. And I think for all of us, including Government of India and all of us, reconciliation is the key word. She wants to go back. She's determined to go back because she says, I don't know if I'm killed or not, but I want to be in my own country. Let her go back. There should be reconciliation. Government of India should call for reconciliation. She wants that appeal be heard against her death sentence. Let there be a judicial appeal. Let the law take its process. Whatever comes out of it is fine. We know that this executive decision or executive order to ban the activities of the Awami League, this was actually Prime Minister Tariq Rahman had said that he would lift this ban, because he himself is in favor of political participation. Everybody is in favor of political participation. But the Jamaat-e-Islami and the NCP and others are against it because they fear loss of their own popularity.
Do you think Tariq Rahman is under Chinese or Pak pressure?
Well, Tariq Rahman's visit to China certainly showed that he is very close to China. We know that he had promised to come and make India his first port of call. He broke that agreement. When he went to China, he has agreed upon projects like Mongla Port Development Project and Teesta River development in Bangladesh, which he knows that under Sheikh Hasina, she had declared these would be given to India because of India's security concerns. India does not want any other country to be in these areas, which are very sensitive areas. And Sheikh Hasina has accepted that. Now, for Tariq Rahman, who claims to want friendship with India, for him to deliberately go and once again give these projects to China, it's a decision which shows he's not interested in friendship with India. And I think this is something that we have to look at very carefully. Because not only he went there, he had a joint statement, but also when he came back, he said, yes, I'm determined these projects will go through. So
Madam, who will be the custodian of Sheikh Hasina's security? Will there be a difference between a first homecoming and a second homecoming? Is there a difference?
I think here we have to see that the ultimate custodian has to be the people of Bangladesh. I think this is what Tariq Rahman and the Jamaat-e-Islami, they're all terrified of, because today in Bangladesh there has been a complete people-wise rehabilitation of Awami League. The executive order may still be in place, but today it is quite clear that the most popular accepted force in Bangladesh is the Awami League. And they are ready to, the people are more than ready to accept the Awami League back as part of the political framework. I'm not saying that they're going to form a government or anything like that, but they should be part of the political mainstream. And whenever the next elections are held, we'll see who votes for whom. So that's a different matter altogether. But banning them from the political mainstream is wrong. And today, the nervousness of the Tariq Rahman government and the Jamaat-e-Islami is because of this. The people have already welcomed her back. We've seen the popular response to yesterday's, the popular response in Dhaka, in Bangladesh, to yesterday's press conference, and it's huge. It's huge. I mean, nobody expected it. I think not even the Awami League, that the people would follow it so carefully and, absolutely adhere to, listen to every word that Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is saying. And I want to tell you, to show you how the parties in power today in Bangladesh, whether in the government or in the opposition, how they don't know how to govern. Yesterday, whatever they say, it's the second anniversary of the July uprising, the president of Bangladesh, the acting president of Bangladesh, had organized a documentary film screening to show a documentary film on the what they describe as July uprising. Prime Minister was there, Tariq Rahman, Yunus was there, the acting president Hafizuddin Ahmad was there, all the diplomatic corps were there. The moment the documentary film started screening, a fight broke out between the BNP and the NCP, the Student Party. They shouted each other's slogan, they came to fisticuffs, and do you know, the Prime Minister could not control it, Yunus could not control it, the President could not control it, the diplomatic corps just walked out. The diplomatic corps just left that gathering. They were fearing physical violence. There was physical violence starting. And before it could get worse, the diplomatic corps walked out. Can you imagine? This is the celebration of the so-called second anniversary of the July uprising. So I think one has to understand that the nervousness in Bangladesh, the differences, they don't even know, they don't even agree on what is the July uprising, who did what, who played what role. No, it's a complete misnomer. And when even Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina spoke yesterday, that they're saying that, oh, we are blaming Sheikh Hasina for the killings and there's a UN report. That report has been contested. That UN report on 1,400 killings before the 5th of August or 10th of August, this has been hotly contested. Even the names have been contested. That this person did not die here, this person did not die. So it's completely, it's not even serious. And
Okay.
what Sheikh Hasina said, that, okay, if you want to try us, we are ready to be tried. Please try everybody else, because 1,000 policemen were killed during those same days. By whom? By these same people who are today claiming to be the inheritors of the July uprising.
Okay.
And what Mohammed Yunus did was to give them indemnify them, give them immunity from protest, from blame.
And my last question to you, madam, do you think that Sheikh Hasina was testing waters yesterday, or she really intends to go back?
She definitely intends to go back. And yes, she would have been testing the waters to see what is the response to her decision to go back. And I think the response has been really unexpectedly warm and positive. But she is quite clear that she is going back. That will definitely happen.
Thank you, Ambassador Sikri, for joining me in this segment of 1-to-1 to decode the response of the Bangladeshi government.
Thank you. Thank you.
So BNP is now going to change its stand. And Ambassador Veena Sikri is very, very clear that India's interest lies in Sheikh Hasina, with Sheikh Hasina. And BNP is trying to be very close to China, and that's the hardball which they're trying to play with India. But it's going to be a long game between India and Bangladesh. So this was on point 3, but don't go away. In 1.4, which is after a short break, we're going to take a look at the innovative solution to Bengaluru's annual flooding crisis. While cities invest in bigger drains and smarter technology, one retired army officer believes the answer lies in restoring Bengaluru's lakes. Let's hear from Captain Santosh Kumar.
A crisis that has shaken the foundation of our education system and left over 22 lakh students in a